What upgrades have F1 teams brought after the summer break? We are finally back after the F1 summer shutdown. It's felt like a whole off-season, hasn't it? And it's the Belgian Grand Prix this weekend. Now, one cool thing this season, at least for us fans to get an insight, is the introduction of the FIA Show and Tell system, where teams have to reveal all their secrets every race weekend to make sure nothing cheeky goes on without the FIA knowing. This allows us to get full transparency from teams and helps us to understand this complex sport just a little bit better. So let's run you through what each team have introduced, and we'll start with the quite small upgrades first, then get to the beefier ones later. After saying we'll start with the small upgrades, it will come to nobody's surprise that we will start with Haas first. They really don't tend to bring much most weekends, and Spa is no different. They've introduced trimmed rear brake duct winglets and brought a smaller beam wing for Spa. Next up we have Alfa Romeo. You'll start to notice that the order in which I go in is not only smallest to biggest upgrades, but also a pretty big noticeable difference between the slower and faster cars too. Alfa have brought circuit-specific trimmed front and rear wings, because this particular beast of a track is like no other. Moving on to our next team, Williams, and it's a very similar story. They have brought the same as Alfa in terms of their front and rear wings being circuit specific, and also brought a different beam wing too. We now move to Fernando Alonso's new home for next year, Aston Martin. They have shipped over a reduced chord front wing and shorter chord flap rear wing combine for their very specific aerodynamic setup. You're kind of getting the picture, aren't you? Spa is a track all teams need to bring some sort of circuit-specific upgrade. AlphaTauri have brought a Spa-specific rear and beam wing, but also done something else to make us a little bit more interested. They have featured extra little winglets on their rear brake ducts, and also changed the rear lower wishbone shroud angle to try to optimise the airflow to their wonderful Spa-specific rear wing. Right, we're moving away from the very similar upgrades we've already heard in this video, and that's thanks to Alpine. They have brought a new floor with a slightly different fence geometry. Alpine have also relocated their brake ducts to interfere less with the bodywork fence. This is all in an attempt to improve rear wing performance, which is crucial for Sector 2 at Spa especially. Now we move to McLaren, who have brought a whole host of upgrades this weekend. You will see they've got a choice of two different circuit-specific rear wings, a beam wing, rear brake duct bodywork and cooling louvres. Not only this, but they have altered the diffuser's ramp angle, a winglet has been added to the rear corner bodywork, and the front suspension track rod fairing has been changed. It's safe to say that McLaren are not just sitting back in their fight against Alpine for P4 in the constructors. What about good old Ferrari? Well, not as much to report, that's for sure. They have brought Spa-specific upgrades for the rear wing and lower beam wing. Our penultimate team to cover is Red Bull, who have brought small changes with a modified side pod profile to enhance their cooling capacity, and also a lower rear suspension wishbone has been modified to reduce drag. And finally, we have Mercedes, who have brought a reasonable amount, it has to be said. They have reprofiled their front wing end plates to optimise the balance between downforce and drag. They've also realigned their floor fences to match the changes they have made in an exposed area at the rear of their floor to make a net gain in downforce. There you have it, an insight into what teams have brought after the summer break. I know there was quite a bit of jargon, but hopefully it gives you an idea as to what kind of things teams have brought this weekend. Who do you reckon will make the biggest step forwards? Let us know in the comment section below.